Coming up on the Q30 Newscast, the surprise snow we received on Tuesday made for an icy morning on campus.
And record low temperatures pose some special hazards for students headed to New Haven on Saturday night, Kelly.
Plus, an adjustment to this year's graduation ceremony has some students protesting. All this and more on tonight's Q30 Newscast.
Live from the Ed McMahon Center, this is the Q30 News Nightcast.
Good evening and welcome to the Q30 Newscast. I'm Kelly Novak.
And I'm Andrew Badillo. Hamden received more snow than expected on Monday night that changed into freezing rain on Tuesday morning, turning campus walkways into sheets of ice.
And down power lines added additional problems. Clasby has all the details on the chaotic morning and how Quinnipiac handled it.
It's a frozen tundra, ice and snow everywhere. Today's wintry weather causing a severe power outage.
Classes will continue as scheduled. The Mount Carmel campus is without power due to a downline on New Road.
Quinnipiac sent out that voicemail to alert students an hour after the power lines snapped on New Road. Down wires like this one brought QU to a grinding halt. Literally, fire crews responding to a student stuck inside an elevator.
Everyone's in the student center, so the lines everywhere along because no one can really be in their rooms when there's no power. I have classes at North Haven usually on Tuesdays. I ended up going in for class for a portion of it today just so that we wouldn't fall behind. And I had to take the shuttle to North Haven, and the roads were an absolute mess.
Today's outage caps off what has been a rough week of wintry weather. Last night's guest speaker, Dr. Mark Lamont Hill, canceled.
Oh, Mr. Hill's flight from Philadelphia to New Haven tonight was canceled. He got on the runway, and then they decided that it was unsafe for his flight to continue on.
As you can see, it's empty, and the process of cleaning up for tonight's event has already been underway.
However, the snow hasn't been the only problem. Temps plummeting, often sitting around or at 0.
100% reason why my car is started. Otherwise, my car would be perfectly fine. My engine can't take this cold.
Now, relief is in sight. The weather is projected to change as temps will be on the rise this week. Clasby, QNN.
Cold weather this weekend also brought quite a bit of water into the Carl Hansen Student Center. According to the facilities department, the sub-zero temperatures over the weekend caused a pipe to burst in Tater Hall. This set off the sprinkler system in the Student Center. The flood was the worst in the area between Tater Hall and the Student Center over the TD Bank ATM and vending machines. SC 116, 117, and 119 all flooded and were closed the next day in order for them to dry out.
The clock tower has been a special ritual for seniors for decades, but university officials have now moved the location of the ceremony, and some students are not happy. Alexa Farrell has the story.
The TD Bank Sports Center may be the home of the Bobcats, but the Bobcats don't want TD to be the home of graduation. So, they're letting their voices be heard. Andy Landolfi has started a petition to keep graduation on the university's quad.
I mean, it's just part of that tradition, you know, you come here, it's the first thing you see, you come over from, admissions office and you're taking your first tour and you walk across the quad and you're like, oh, this is it, like this is fantastic.
The class of 2016 sat on the quad freshman year in a ceremony to start their time at Quinnipiac. Students were told that in 4 years they would return to the spot for their graduation ceremony. University officials changed the graduation location in March of last year. Students were extremely upset about the decision, but the university's response so far to their petition has been
just, again, absolute silence. And I've written kind of a response to a letter in or an opinion piece in the Chronicle. And again, favorable response from students, but again, administration has been fairly silent.
Eric Greco is another student who supports the movement.
I 100% want graduation on the quad, because just throughout Quinnipiac, we've built so many memories on the quad, and there's so many more aspects of our campus life that have been on the quad, so I feel like it's only right to have it there.
It looks bad if you have 250, 300 seniors who are saying that they're going to boycott a ceremony that's very intimately connected to the senior class.
But first, They're waiting for a response from university officials.
So the idea is to kind of gauge their response to it and then move forward from there. A lot of students kind of have spoken up about saying, maybe we'll do some sort of sit-in, some sort of peaceful, silent protest. So again, we're going to kind of go forward with the petition and see the overall administrative response and then make decisions from there. And hopefully it's a positive one, because I'd like to go to graduation, but at this point I won't be there.
Time will tell if graduation will be held on the grass or on the court. Alexa Farrell, QNN.
One of Quinnipiac's biggest service groups, the Community Action Project, hosted a blood drive with the American Red Cross Thursday. Quinnipiac students and faculty were able to donate blood from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. in the Carl Hansen Student Center. The blood drive will also be on campus on Friday for those who didn't get the chance to donate today. 1 pint of blood can save 3 lives. Quinnipiac Student Programming Board's annual shaving event for children with cancer is approaching. Students can currently register for St. Baldrick's in the Student Center, where SPB is tabling and selling hats and t-shirts. St. Baldrick's will take place in the Piazza on March 8th.
The Greek Leadership Series held a talk with award-winning mental health speaker Ross Szabo. His lecture, titled Behind Happy Faces, is meant to inform others about mental health in an honest and humorous way. Students met in SC 120 on Tuesday and were challenged to explore their views on mental health in themselves and others.
I thought he was really relatable to college kids, and he made it lighthearted so it wasn't such a heavy topic.
Going through the whole RA process, it was really nice to learn about mental health and how to help my future residents if I get the job.
About a few of his mental health tips for college students.
To treat your mental health like you would your physical health. If you're working out and doing all these things to take care of your body, think about how you communicate and how you address your emotions and what your relationships are with people. The other big mental health tips are sometimes you're having a competition to see who can be more stressed out and you're not getting enough sleep. So studies show that the most effective way to break someone down is to only allow them to sleep 3 to 5 hours a day. The average college student sleeps 4 to 6 hours a day. If you're only sleeping 4 to 6 hours a day, it affects your mood, it affects your memory, it affects your health. One of the best things you can do is start a ritual every night to let your body know that it's actually time to go to sleep. Our bodies love habits. So maybe you can meditate, listen to music, turn the lights out, get away from screens, but just 15 minutes of saying like, hey, it's time to sleep. And the most important thing is for you to actually talk about whatever it is you're going through to address your mental health.
And you know what, Kelly, despite the freezing temperatures we've been having in February, we have a presidential race that's heating up.
I totally agree with you on that one. Joel Vanner is standing by with the latest Quinnipiac poll results for the election.
The Quinnipiac University poll released new numbers today for the 2016 presidential race. According to the poll results, Bernie Sanders is a favorite over Donald Trump, 48% to 42%. Sanders also received a higher percentage of votes than all the other Republican candidates. Sanders has a high favorability among any candidate, and the highest scores for honesty and integrity, caring about voters' needs and problems, and for sharing voters' values. However, voters polled don't seem to think he has the right kind of experience to be president, falling behind Hillary Clinton and former Florida Governor Jeb Bush. Clinton is favored slightly higher than Trump, with the percentages in that race 44% to 43%. Cruz, Rubio, Bush, and Kasich are all ahead of Clinton. Now, if former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg jumps into the race for the presidency, he would hurt Democratic candidate Sanders more than Republican Trump. The Democrats will be in Nevada at the Nevada caucus on Saturday, February 20th, while the Republicans will be in South Carolina at the South Carolina primaries. The Republicans will travel to Nevada for their Nevada caucus on Tuesday, the 23rd. Kelly, Andrew, back to you.
When we come back on the Q30 Newscast, Courtney Courtwright fills us in on the latest in local news.
And the wacky weather continues to haunt Quinnipiac students. Aya Galal hopefully has some good news in tonight's forecast. What about it, Aya?
Well, guys, we have seen some crazy record-breaking temperatures this past week. How long will the cold continue? I'll have the full weather forecast when we return.
I could really go for a Ray and Mike sub right now.
Come to Ray and Mike's and try our Philly chicken and cheese for just over $4. Giant cheesesteak subs and mouth-watering boar's head sandwiches for as low as $4.75. Q Cash accepted just a mile down the road on Whitney, here at Ray and Mike's.
The freshmen this year have stepped in and really just eliminated that problem, doing the right plays at the right time.
I mean, it certainly seems like an uphill battle for this team, but Trisha Fabi is one of the best coaches at this university.
Bobcats hosting Arizona State. We'll start with this power play.
But she's strong. Good Lord, I saw her lifting one time. She could squat 3 of me. Like,
oh, well, 7 of me then.
Good evening and welcome to Sports Pause.
In the end, we're here to win the championship this year.
Jess Fontaine now has that. She's going to take a ripper off the post, but she's going to come back.
And my number one, hold your applause, Bobcats fans, is Quinnipiac.
All right, Victoria, you know what time it is. It's top 5 plays of the week.
My favorite time. Welcome back to the Q30 Newscast. A spree of robberies has been plaguing the Hamden area.
But Kelly, it's not all bad news, especially for a man in Bridgeport. Courtney Courtwright has your biggest stories from outside Quinnipiac.
Thanks, guys. An outbreak of meningitis at Yale University is confirmed as of this morning. The Silliman College student contracted a strain of the disease that is not covered by required vaccinations. Meningitis is contagious and is spread through contact between bodily fluids such as kissing or coughing. This illness cannot be spread by touching doorknobs or shaking hands. There has not been any recent or additional cases reported, but as a precaution, Yale University is offering vaccinations to students. Connecticut is dealing with a lot of crimes lately, but this one involves pizza. A Hartford pizza delivery man was stabbed on Monday when 2 suspects ambushed his vehicle. Police say the 2 suspects jumped in Angelo Castro's car and began stabbing him in the upper chest, leg, and arm. After the suspects took off with the pizza, Castro drove himself to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. And 2 black men robbed a Subway in Hamden Tuesday night and held a customer at gunpoint. Police are still looking for the young man who stole an unknown money from the cash register in Dixwell Plaza, as they also robbed a female customer. The men were wearing hoodies and masks. The Hamden Police encourages anyone with any additional information to contact the Major Crime Division. And finally, some heartwarming news outside of Bridgeport this week. A man got more than just chocolates this Valentine's Day. After spending a year on the wait list, 60-year-old John Pesavento received a heart transplant. Doctors at Yale University says his surgery took 6 hours, but Pesavento is expected to make a full recovery. Well, that's it for your local news. I'm Courtney Courtwright. Now back to the desk.
Thanks a lot, Courtney. And guys, if you went to Toads this past weekend in the 10-degree weather, it may have affected your health.
But hopefully we aren't getting any more record low temperatures, Aya.
Yeah, one of my friends was joking about wearing sweatpants, but I don't know if she did end up doing that. If you're wondering how much longer you're going to have to keep bundling up, I'll have the full weather forecast when we come back.
I could really go for a Ray and Mike sub right now.
Come to Ray and Mike's and try our Philly chicken and cheese for just over $4. Giant cheesesteak subs and mouth-watering boar's head sandwiches for as low as $4.75. Q Cash accepted just a mile down the road on Whitney, here at Ray and Mike's.
The freshmen this year have stepped in and really just eliminated that problem, doing the right plays at the right time.
I mean, it certainly seems like an uphill battle for this team, but Trisha Fabi is one of the best coaches at this university.
Bobcats hosting Arizona State. We'll start with this power play.
But she's strong. Good Lord, I saw her lifting one time. She could squat 3 of me. Like,
oh, well, 7 of me then. evening and welcome to Sports Pause.
In the end, we're here to win the championship this year.
Jess Fontaine now has that. She's going to take a ripper off the post, but she's going to come back.
And my number one, hold your applause, Bobcats fans, is Quinnipiac.
All right, Victoria, you know what time it is. It's top 5 plays of the week.
My favorite time. You may have expected the bitter blast of cold last weekend to keep students from going out, but that was not the case. Janelle Cadigan has more.
New England weather has once again proven to be unpredictable, but record-setting lows did not keep some students from their weekend plans.
The cold didn't stop my residents. They really wanted to go out.
Actually, it looked like a lot of people were there, surprisingly. I didn't think a lot of people were going to go, but from Snapchats and social media, it looked like a lot of people went.
On Saturday, temperatures dropped to minus 12 degrees, with wind chills as low as negative 30 degrees.
Dr. Brewer, the medical director here at the Health and Wellness Center, says going out in extremely cold temperatures is really dangerous, especially if you've consumed alcohol.
If your skin is warm because of that, you don't feel as cold. And at the same time, your judgment's impaired, and so your core temperature is starting to drop, but you don't feel cold yet because, hey, you're all flushed and red and all that.
According to Brewer, when intoxicated in cold temperatures, hypothermia or other weather-related illnesses will set in after about 10 minutes.
Kids actually got sick from waiting in the line for so long and whatever.
Kind of wonder why they do that on a night like that. Seriously. I think in those situations people should vote with their feet and leave and not wait outside.
If you do find that you need to go outside, make sure your clothes are dry and make sure you have enough good quality clothing layered on. But overall, schedule your plans wisely.
Look at the weather. If you see this gigantic thing that's coming and it's almost here, then change your plans. Don't go out.
Janelle Cadigan, Q30 News.
I'm Aya Glal here with your full weather update for the week. We have seen some crazy temperatures these past few days, especially last weekend. And if we take a look at the current national temperatures, we see by New York, 36 degrees. It's still a little chilly. Boston, 32 degrees. Even on the West Coast, San Francisco in the 50s, Portland, 48. But of course, down south in the Florida region, Orlando, 72 degrees. Miami, 75 degrees. And now if we take a look at the current temperatures today in Connecticut, we're going to see that Meriden was 34 degrees, Waterbury 32 degrees, New Haven 34 degrees, our capital 35 degrees. So still pretty chilly, especially if you're walking around to class. But if we take a look at the regional radar, it's pretty clear, which is nice. No rain, no snow coming our way yet. Tonight's forecast, 17 degrees clear, winds at 9 miles, north at 9 miles per hour. You are going to want to bundle up, wear a scarf, maybe even wear some gloves because it is going to be chilly. Tomorrow's temperatures in Connecticut, it's going to be a little warmer with 37 degrees in New Haven, 39 degrees in Waterbury, 39 degrees in Storrs, and by the shoreline, New London, 36 degrees. Tomorrow's forecast is going to be 38 degrees, mostly cloudy, and winds are going to be at southeast at 7 miles per hour. So now we'll take a look at the 7-day forecast. So today, 33, low of 17 degrees, but tomorrow it's going to warm up a little, 38 degrees. For the weekend, we are going to see the 50s, so 50 degrees on Saturday. That's nice. It'll be much warmer than last weekend, and 49 degrees on Sunday, so you should be able to go out and about this weekend and not be worried about freezing. Monday, 46 degrees. For Tuesday, 43 degrees, and next Wednesday, 38 degrees, and we will see a little bit of rain. So temperatures are slowly warming up, but you're still going to want to bundle up. So that's it for this week's weather forecast. I'm Aya Glal. Now back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks a lot, Aya. And Kelly, a lot happened this past week in entertainment. The Grammys, the main event, we saw more Kanye and Taylor tiffed.
Yeah, and unfortunately on the other side of that, some sad news from the Mob Wives family. Ashley Nally Nagel has all your entertainment updates.
Thanks, guys. Taylor Swift won Album of the Year at the Grammy Awards on Monday. It was her second time winning the coveted award, making her the first woman to win more than once. In her acceptance speech, she shot back at frenemy Kanye West's newest lyrics, which stated that he made her famous.
There are going to be people along the way who will try to undercut your success or take credit for your accomplishments or your fame. But if you just focus on the work and you don't let those people sidetrack you.
Swift used her platform to warn women and girls that though there will be people who try to take credit for their success, they should stay true to who they are. This was widely seen as a snub to Kanye West's lyrics, and Swift received a great amount of support on social media about her feminist-centered acceptance speech. Kanye West also may be in a bit of financial trouble, according to his Twitter account. Kim Kardashian's husband has been recently ranting on Twitter about everything from God to his music to asking Mark Zuckerberg for financial help, a whole $1 billion. Though he tweeted, "Money doesn't make me who I am," he revealed that he is $53 million in debt. West even begged athletic clothing company Adidas to bail him out of debt by asking them to do a LeBron-style deal to help him. Mob Wives star Big Angie's death was reported falsely hours before she actually died. Rumors surfaced that Angela Raiola was dead at around 9 p.m. Wednesday, which led to a social media frenzy of mourning fans. About an hour later, it was revealed that Big Ange was still alive but in critical condition. The conversation on social media quickly changed to a series of hashtags, including a hashtag #PrayForBigAnge. However, fans were upset to find out that this morning that Big Ange did die overnight after a battle with stage 4 lung cancer and brain cancer. A statement released on her Twitter account said Raiola was surrounded by loved ones when she passed away, and the family is thanking fans for their support. That's it for your entertainment update. I'm Ashley Nally-Nagel. Back to you guys at the desk.
When we come back on the Q30 Newscast, MJ Baird stops by to fill us in on all the Quinnipiac sports action you may have missed from last week.
Don't go away. We'll be right back.
I could really go for a Ray and Mike's sub right now.
Come to Ray and Mike's and try our Philly chicken and cheese for just over $4. Giant cheesesteak subs and mouth-watering boar's head sandwiches for as low as $4.75. Q Cash accepted just a mile down the road on Whitney, here at Ray and Mike's.
The freshmen this year have stepped in and really just eliminated that problem, doing the right plays at the right time.
I mean, it certainly seems like an uphill battle for this team, but Trisha Fabi is one of the best coaches at this university.
Bobcats hosting Arizona State. We'll start with this power play.
But she's strong. Good Lord, I saw her lifting one time. She could squat 3 of me. Like,
oh, well, 7 of me then.
Good evening and welcome to Sports Pause.
In the end, we're here to win the championship this year.
Jess Fontaine now has that. She's going to take a ripper off the post, but she's going to come back.
And my number one, hold your applause, Bobcats fans, is Quinnipiac.
All right, Victoria, you know what time it is. It's top 5 plays of the week.
My favorite time. The most anticipated men's ice hockey game of the year against Yale is approaching, but for 2 students, their excitement is a little higher than usual.
Yeah, Kelly, Christina Cumizio and Gabby Galvez are the 2 finalists in the voice competition for who will sing the national anthem. Students have been voting in an online poll on the QU Tickets Twitter page.
Theater major Cumizio says she is just thankful to be in the running, and health science major Galvez says to sing at the game would be a dream come true.
To be chosen would be such a huge honor to not only perform at the largest game of the year, but just to stand up for our country is a big deal.
To get this amazing opportunity is just wild, and I'm not sure how. I can't even imagine how amazing it's going to be if it gets to that point.
The final round of voting begins today and ends February 21st. You know, Kelly, those Quinnipiac hockey teams have been rolling all season long, and the women's basketball team has won 12 straight.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting how well everyone's doing, so MJ Baird is here with all of your sports.
Thanks, guys. Let's start out sports this week with a look back at the spring sports for the past semester. The women's lacrosse team opened its season on Wednesday. The Bobcats traveled north to Storrs, Connecticut to take on UConn. No one could find the back of the net as the Bobcats fell 21-0 to the Huskies. Grace Nolan and Kate Finkelstein combined for 13 of the Huskies' 21 goals. The Bobcats resume play next Wednesday down in New Haven, taking on the Yale Bulldogs. Sophia Duslinski and the women's tennis team traveled a few miles down the road to North Haven to host the Binghamton Bearcats on Saturday at the North Haven Health and Racquet Club. The Bobcats fell 4-3 to the Bearcats. Duslinski picked up 2 wins in the match, passing the 90-win mark for her career. She also was named MAC Women's Tennis Player of the Week. The Quinnipiac women's softball team opened its season this weekend. Jill Karwoski's Bobcats begin the season in Illinois for a tournament, the first of 4 tournaments to begin the season. Over a span of 3 days in the tournament, the Bobcats will play Lipscomb, Indiana State, Western Illinois, and Loyola and Green Bay. The Bobcats were picked to finish 8th in the MAC preseason coaches poll. Let's transition now from the spring sports back to the winter with playoff season coming up. As for the hardwood, the men's and women's basketball teams have had different fates of late. Tom Moore's squad looks to rebound from a double overtime loss to Fairfield over the weekend and a crushing defeat on Monday at Iona. The Bobcats get just that opportunity tonight as they host St. Peter's and look to put an end to their 4-game losing streak. As for the women, Trisha Fabry and her team are rolling. Let's check out the tail of the tape for their matchup against Iona last weekend. Up at Lender Court now, Iona coming into Hamden to face the Bobcats. Let's start out in the first quarter. Iona's Marina Lizarazu straight out of Madrid, Spain, behind the back pass there to Alexis Lewis. Lewis up and good for 3. Here's Lewis again from the corner. She puts that in. That's good for 3. Iona leads 19-12 at the end of the first quarter. Let's jump right to the third quarter now. Lizarazu again, check this out. Left hand, right hand, back to the left, up for the layup, and Iona now extends to a 5-point lead. Next, Quinnipiac possession though. Aaron McClure says, yes, don't mind if I do too. Iona only up by 3 now. Right to the fourth, crazy quarter here. Check this out from Adelie Martucci. From downtown, that's good for 3, but Iona still with the lead in the game. Just over 8 minutes left though. Aaron McClure again puts Iona through the spin cycle, right up with the right hand there. Iona up only 3 now in the game. 7 minutes left in the third quarter. Paula Stroutman, out to Carly Fabry, hits the tray. We have a tie game, ladies and gentlemen. But you saw it before, you'll see it again. Lizarazu from 3 puts Iona back on top in the game. Here's Trisha Fabry. Aaron McClure one more time down low. Forearm to the chest, gets the points there. Here's Trisha Fabry in a timeout late in the game. Quinnipiac now up 1 after hitting 3 free throws. Felicia Gilmore for Iona can't hit that to end the game. The Bobcats hold on to win, 62-61. So Bobcats are actually playing right now up at Lender Court. 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Quinnipiac holding a 5-point lead over Marist, 59-54. Tori Jarose with 18 points and 10 rebounds for the Bobcats. Paula Stroutman, 14 points and 3 rebounds. Last but not least, Quinnipiac hockey is reaching the end of its regular season. Rand Pecknold and the men's team suffered its first ECAC loss last weekend at the hands of St. Lawrence. Devon Tays led the Bobcats to rebound the next night with an overtime win at Clarkson. The Bobcats face Union and RPI on the road this weekend before coming home for the last weekend of the season. And Cassandra Turner and her women's team wrap up their season at home. The Bobcats need only 2 points in 2 games to secure home ice advantage this weekend. Saturday afternoon, tune into the broadcast or head up to the bank for the game as the seniors will be honored prior to the game. Back to you guys at the desk.
Q30 Newscast, and my first Q30 Newscast, Kelly. You guys were finally able to yank me away from sports.
Yeah, and you did a great job. You know, the news is fun. Hopefully there's just enough sports sprinkled into the news to keep you around.
Yeah, you're certainly right about that one. Well, for more information, you can visit our website at q30television.com and follow us on social media at Q30 News.
For Andrew Badillo, I'm Kelly Novak. Have a great night.